Well, hello.
Hey, Eric, how are you?
Hi. Welcome to GrishaCast After. It's
Ooh,
Eric and my friend
Lacey.
Lacey. Hi, Lacey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Ugh, good, of course. So, we are doing something that hopefully we will do many, many, many more of, not just with Lacey, but with like other fans. And we're playing a game and putting it up on YouTube so y'all can watch and whatever. So, yeah, this is strictly just a YouTube thing. It's not going to be anything on the podcast. So, we are going to be playing our game, What If, that, if you listen to the podcast, I'm obsessed with, but have to like force people to play. Um, so luckily I got Lacey, who was very interested.
Yeah,
But
I'm very excited to play.
yeah. So let's do an introduction real quickly, like we always do with our guests. So
All right.
first off, I want to let you all know that if you guys saw on the front screen or in the beginning, I gave Lacey a Grisha verse spelling. So yeah. Anyways, it's
I
LL.
really like it.
Oh,
Thank you.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
I
I
couldn't think of anything when I was trying to do it. So,
see. Look.
thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know you can't see it right now, and I don't want you to have to rewind the video, but it's LLAYCE, which is
That's
really
me.
funny because I keep on having to spell those out, which make no sense to anybody because like you have to see it for it to like actually matter. But anyways, Lacey, how did you get introduced to the Grishaverse?
I was actually reading a list. It was like, if you enjoyed the book series that shall not be named, you'll really
Mhm.
enjoy these books. And Six of Crows was on there. And
Okay.
I actually read Six of Crows before Shadow and Bone.
Yeah,
I'm one of those weirdos that did that.
but it's
But
not really weird. I now have found that a lot of people have done that. Um,
yeah,
yeah, so
I mean, really, it works either way.
it does. I guess like I would just like I would get so confused with the like Grisha, like I mean, just like the fact like I mean, understanding the Grisha orders. I think if I started Six of Crows, just like
Yeah.
without knowing it,
It
because
was a little weird at first, but like a quick Google search and it was like enough to understand to just get through the plot, you
well, there
know?
you go. Yeah.
So, especially since she really changed all the rules with Jurda Parem anyway.
Yeah, and
So,
that's
like, a lot of the rules didn't even hold steady.
no, and that's the best thing about this. So,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, just letting y'all know, we'll let you know in the beginning of this too that I mean, if you haven't read, I mean, we're gonna be talking. So,
hmm
well, so what so what is, excuse me, what order would you be apart? What kind of Grisha would you be?
I think in my heart of hearts, I think I'd be a squaller, just like my girl Zoya. Gotta
Yes.
be just like Zoya, just like Eric, just like yeah.
Yep. Hi. As if
Yeah.
I'm Zoya. Yeah. Well, that's awesome because squalors rock. I agree completely. I have always loved like just I would totally be like just like an ethereal alkai is cool because we get to summon things and I just like
Mhm.
and I don't know, that makes sense to me. So and just to let you guys know, I'm wearing this really cute little scarf. It happens to be from a bookish box. I don't subscribe to bookish. I had to buy this on Mercari or something. But I'm not taking it off because it took me forever to put on. But that is a dragon, which actually is resembling Zoya. It's actually from Rule of Wolves, and it's really cute. So yeah, I wanted to support that tonight. Um, anyways, yeah, you can't
Yeah.
see it because I'm looking at the screen, and it just really looks like a blob of red. But just know that's a dragon. So
Use your imagination. Yeah.
exactly, we all do. Um, okay, well, so let's play What If.
All
Okay,
right. Getting
drum.
ready. All right.
Yes. So, for those of you that don't know what this game is, pretty much we are basing it. There's a Marvel show right now. If you enjoy Marvel, then you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, we are just changing one little aspect of the story and then talking about how it would change and what would change and that's it. So, Um, anyways, so tonight's what if is if Baghra did not inform Alina about the Darkling, like, didn't do anything to, like, I mean, pretty much we would think about Baghra at, like, obviously still the Darkling's mother, but wasn't interested in trying to stop him.
And
So,
would we even know she was his mother? Because she's the one who told us that. So if she kept
yeah,
her mouth zipped, we wouldn't even know that.
we probably wouldn't, to be honest, because I mean,
Mm-mm.
yeah, the only reason she said that to Elena was just because she was trying to convince her, and like, she spilled so much tea in, like, literally, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It was just, like, everything. So, we've got, like, it's
It was everything. Yeah.
yeah, so if pretty much, what if Alina didn't, like, know that the Darkling actually was the one that created the Fold? He had been around forever. He is an
He
amplifier.
was still the super hot guy who came and plucked her out of obscurity.
Yeah, she wouldn't know that. Like,
Yeah.
she really wouldn't know, like, she wouldn't know how old he is either, that
Yeah.
he's, like, been around forever,
Like
um,
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
and she'd believe him. She'd believe the fact that, like, he's just trying to save Ravka, and because he put together the little palace, like, I feel like he's talked about that in his history, that he wanted a place for
Mhm.
Grisha to be safe. So,
Mhm.
anyways, okay, so
Yeah, so she'd still be totally, totally in love with him.
yeah,
Through the whole book, it would change a lot. Her and Mal would never run off together and find the stag separately.
yeah,
So she'd never have the power over it,
it's
right?
yeah, she would totally, like, I mean, if you go up right to the moment before Baghra pretty much grabs Alina, she is smitten and, like,
Mhm.
definitely falling hard for the Darkling, and the Darkling is wanting that, like, he's trying,
He's
uh
leaning into it for sure.
absolutely, and it's
For
just
sure.
it's pissing everybody off, um, especially Zoya. So,
Yeah.
but, yeah, so that'd be interesting because you're right, we We find the amplifiers then, we'd have to think, like
She wouldn't have control over the stag the way she did
well, because
in the
Mal
book
wouldn't be there, right? Like, I don't
because
think
Mal wouldn't have helped her find it.
no, because I Mal would still be in the 2nd Army, or no, yeah, he would be in the 2nd Army, but that's right. Mal did ask the 2nd Army to just look for the stag, so then he
Mhm.
did, but maybe he wouldn't agree to do it because he didn't have any reason to go and
Maybe not.
try.
Maybe
So,
nobody gets the stag
yeah, but
and the
then
book ends.
yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I don't know how that would happen. So,
Yeah, so we'll pretend they still get the stag.
yeah, somehow the Darkling finds the stag, even though he
Mhm.
doesn't have Mal as a tracker, because I don't think Mal would be a part of the story at all. I really don't because
You
we
think he'd totally tap out, he'd be gone.
yeah, because they like, they try in the beginning, but they are like, they've got the odds against them. I mean, Jenya's working to make sure she doesn't get the letters, and then, like,
Mhm.
it's just it wouldn't, like, I mean, he would, and they pretty much told him once they took her off, like, I mean, "She'll be fine. It's just like the
Yeah.
all other Grisha." I mean,
She's
they
not a
saw
soldier now, she's a Grisha. She's not your
yeah,
problem.
exactly. So,
Yeah,
I
that
think
makes
he
sense.
really would've, like, just, like, completely tried to just get over it, because he would have no
Cleaned
yeah.
his hands of it,
Yeah.
gone and
So
lived a happy life.
that would make
So
it
no
interesting.
Mal.
So, no Mal, which would probably make a lot of people
I
happy.
was thinking
So,
that.
I know
Yeah.
a lot of you guys are
Poor
out
Mal.
there happy with that one. But,
Poor Mal.
so I still think they would definitely obviously have to be trying to get the stag, because that seems to be, like, something that Darkling's obsessed with anyways.
Mhm.
Um,
For sure.
so I'm sure the Darkling would figure it out because he's got, like, he already is trying to figure it out, before he even had Mal. And actually he finds it without Mal, because I mean, or does because
Well,
he's
they're
not
following Mal.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forget when you can't see them. If you're not on screen, I forget about you.
They're not on screen. They don't exist.
Yeah. So then Alina, I wonder what the discussion would have been about what an amplifier is like to Alina. Like, okay, so we're getting
Right?
the stag, but it's important for like he's gonna say, how would he?
Yeah, what would he say to her to
Because
convince her to put that into
yeah,
her?
like how
That
can
was
you politely be like, so we want to use your power, but I'm gonna kill the stag? Like,
I think that's how you do it right there.
yeah, and
I think you nailed it.
it's so convincing. But we do have to remember that everybody's so drawn to the Darkling because
Mhm.
he's an amplifier. So,
And she'd be madly in love with him at this
yeah,
point.
so she would totally be wearing that black kefta, like, because she wanted to.
Mhm.
Um, I figured they might be like, yeah, they would just be definitely together. Might be staying in the same room. Mm, little palace, but that
Scandalous. Oh my
I
gosh.
know. So imagine, like, I mean, I mean, a Darkling having like an actual like person that he's dating for
Like a
real.
girlfriend.
Yeah, the Darkling girlfriend just happens to be the
He
other.
brings her flowers and everything. I guess he does that in the show, bringing her
Yeah,
flowers and stuff. It's
yeah,
a
he's
little weird.
yeah. It is weird. It would be he would, but I think so. Then let's fast forward. So yeah,
Yeah.
they end up getting the stag. But he would kill it
Alina
because
has no control over it
maybe
now.
he would convince Alina, because Alina doesn't know anything about amplifiers. So maybe he would say that only amplifiers can control the power of it. I'll be able to like help you. We'll get you. I have to kill it so I can control it, and then I'll be able to help teach you how to do that.
It's too much power for you right now.
Yeah,
You're ready.
because she'd listen to it. So
Yeah, she'd buy it 100%. Why wouldn't she?
yeah,
She'd have no reason not to.
yeah. So there we go.
So
The
then, but then what would happen when they're on the skiff and everything goes down with Novo Cabriers?
Yeah, so that is an interesting part because, like, I mean, pretty much you and I have to just assume what we think Alina would do. Is she so brainwashed that she just is
Well, and
okay
also, what is she gonna do? He's in control of her powers. She doesn't have the control over the stag like she does. You know what I mean?
at all? Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
so she's just kind of screwed. Like,
yeah, she's really like, I mean, Alina is like not a main character at this point. She's just kind of like uh, a tool that the Darkling uses.
yeah.
I mean, so
I think I know who would step up.
okay, what do you think?
And I think our girl Zoya.
I agree.
I think
Absolutely.
our girl Zoya would step up and we would suddenly have Zoya as the main character.
So I am totally for that because that is part of the story. Zoya does like get pissed off when Novosibirsk gets like demolished.
Mhm.
I do think Alina would like kind of like figure out something's wrong. I don't think he'd be able to come. I don't know. I don't think he'd be able to come up with some way of explain convincing Alina that it's okay.
Yeah.
Because this entire time he would have still he would have still been saying that he needs her to ruin the fold, so that wouldn't change.
Mhm. No.
Um, she just still would have. She'd probably have to deal with the fact that my boyfriend just lied to me. I
Oh,
know.
tough. That's a tough lesson to learn.
She'd probably be like more upset over that than the fact that like the
She
thousands of
just
people in
killed
Novosibirsk
some
died.
people.
She'd just be there on like,
Maybe.
yeah. She'd be like,
We've
and
all been impetuous teenagers, I guess.
you just got me this necklace, and
Oh
you're
my god.
lying already.
And you're lying to me.
Like,
Is that why you got me the necklace? Because you lied?
God, what am I gonna get next? I
Right?
mean,
But I really do think Zoya would have stepped up in that situation.
yeah, and that'd be really cool to see because she would. She gets upset. We know, like, because her family lives there, so she's pissed when that happens.
Mhm.
Um, in the original story, she goes and joins Alina, but we would
Immediately, she doesn't even think about it.
no, even though she hates her,
Mhm.
She just, and see, that's why I love Zoya so much, is, like, because even though, like, she was horrible to Alina and hated her, when she finally saw the true side of the Darkling, she still had, like, this heart and, like, was like, "I've gotta do the right thing," and, like,
Mhm.
"I don't wanna help him anymore."
Yeah.
But we would there wouldn't be any destroying, like, no fights would go on, right? No Mal falling off the ship. There wouldn't be anybody, like,
Yeah.
fighting
She would
on the
have to,
skiff.
like, sneak away, right?
So,
Like
yeah, I pretty much just assumed that, like, they would get on the skiff like they normally did and show all the, like, leaders of all the other countries that they did this, and then they just take them back. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Like, that was the
See, now
show.
I'm also picturing Zoya getting away, teaming up with Nikolai,
Yeah.
and them getting Alina out from the Darkling's clutches. I think that would be something really fun to see.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, completely just realized that Alina is no longer the main character in this story.
Wow, we did that.
She's got a huge her power is the only reason that anybody needs her, and she's pretty much completely a slave to the Darkling. Um and I hope that she like would at least be smart enough to like stop loving him and like, but I don't know. Because well, and it's not her fault, it's the fact that he's
No.
got that power.
Mhm.
Um, but
They're drawn to him.
so that would be really cool because Nikolai does like he is trying to like he gets in the story, he does like kind of like go and try to find Alina, trying to help with everything. So Zoya would somehow that'd be really cool for them to end up together. And she's
I
already at
think
the like she probably has met maybe I mean maybe met Nikolai.
I think she talks about seeing him when he was a young prince,
Okay. So
or maybe that was Jenya. It could have been.
okay. Well, we already know that one thing that's gonna be great is since Alina isn't really a part of it, Nikolai doesn't have to see her and think that he likes her for a second. He's just gonna
He's gonna go
immediately see
straight to
Zoya and be
Zoya.
like, "Oh my god."
Hello.
Because yeah.
Because it's Zoya,
Yeah, and he
obviously.
well, because that's how like, he totally, like, falls for her, like, in the real canon.
Yeah,
So, that would just happen maybe earlier. So,
maybe.
it'd be like they would be a duo trying to stop the Darkling. What do you think? Like, I mean, I'm sure they'd have to get Alina. There's no way you can
You have to.
because in order to destroy the fold, we have to be able to do that. So,
Yeah,
somehow or not, they would have to
yeah.
figure that out.
I
Um,
don't know how if anybody could figure it out, though, it'd be those 2. That's for sure.
it would be, but to be honest, like, think like, I mean, it's a lot harder than the normal story because you've got it's not the Darkling versus the Sun Summoner. It's now the Darkling and the Sun Summoner with, like, a
Versus
Squaller.
yeah. And a really, really awesome Otskazaya. Like,
Yeah. Well,
great. Yeah.
and there'd be other people that joined them, I'm sure
Oh,
like,
of
I mean, we
course.
know that that would happen. There would definitely be people that started running away.
Yeah. And maybe Mal suddenly reappears,
Well,
hearing that his childhood friend is
yeah.
in trouble. Maybe.
Maybe yeah,
Maybe.
maybe he hears from, like, a radio that, like, I mean, they're the new they're the new hot couple in town, and, they've been seen at a couple different restaurants. Um,
Ooh.
yeah,
He comes to win back his love. Who knows?
she's got this fabulous new collar, the choker.
Yeah,
Um,
choker is definitely more accurate. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Or if we go with the way the show did, the most disgusting way I've ever thought an
Thing.
amplifier would
Yeah.
ever be in your body.
I was not expecting it
It
at
made me
all.
uncomfortable. Like watching, like, I mean, you couldn't hug people. That would hurt.
No.
Like, I mean, you could
Do
like,
any imagine trying to sleep and like you roll over.
oh my god, if I rolled, you would hurt yourself so much, or like run into like walls or
Walls.
corners or
You'd be like a dog with a cone on its head.
yeah. But what would be cute around some kind of holidays, you would have a new little thing to put like ornaments on.
Oh my god. You'd save a ton on cologne because you could just put the car fresheners, just hang the
Yeah.
car fresheners on. Oh yeah,
Aw.
yeah. No, but when they did that in the show, I was not expecting it at all. It was a shock for sure.
Yeah, that was a shock for me. I remember catching when you see Zoya's in the very beginning, but, like, because I remember seeing it on her, like, in her wrist, but it didn't make me, like, ever think that the
Question
collar
it.
would be
Yeah.
done, because that just seemed
See,
like
I didn't catch it at all. So I
oh,
just
you
got
didn't?
no.
Ha
Yeah.
did you have you do you know what have you seen you have seen
Yeah.
it that yeah,
Yes. 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 I watched it twice now. But my first time through, I wasn't like,
watching for
looking
that
at all the
stuff?
teeny tiny little, yeah. I should have been, but
Well, but
I'm just
Zoya was my
watching it for the
absolute favorite
fun.
character,
Yeah.
so, like, anytime she was on screen, which was very little, I, like, was totally paying attention to it, so, like, it's weird how they do the amplifiers, though, and I'm kind of excited to see the rest of the way they do them just
Yeah.
because it's n it doesn't, like, I
Around
guess
her wrist. Yeah. How are they?
well, I
I guess
mean,
it'll be like Zoya's.
so they're changing I guess what they're doing instead of saying that, like, you just have to have this on your body, it has to be, like, actually, like, somehow, like, within your body, like,
Yeah.
put inside, like,
It's a little
ugh.
intense.
Okay, so, anyways, Alina would eventually get with them, but I don't think we gotta remember, Baghra didn't teach her well how to use her powers.
No. Now it'd be up to Zoya.
So
I
yeah, so, a lot of yeah, they'd have to really figure out some way to, like, teach her how to, like, summon her powers,
figure it out.
but, they would have her, like, somehow, and then let's see, so does that end
They'd have to eventually track down Mal though,
well,
because
exactly.
they're the amplifiers, so they'd
Um,
eventually.
they'd have to, but would I wonder I wonder if he figured it out, because here's the thing, like, I mean, like, part of him figuring out who figured it out? I can't even remember. Who was the one that actually, like did Mal, like I can't remember. But
I think they, figured it out at the same time. If Mal knew before she did, he never said,
I don't think he
but
did. I think he was just too dumb. Like, I think he just thought he was an amazing tracker.
that's fair enough.
I
That's
really
fair
don't
enough.
think he had any clue.
He's just an idiot. It's
Yeah,
fair enough.
even though, like, every once in a while they'd bump into each other and they'd, like, have, like, an electrical, like,
Electricity.
shock, it'd be like,
And he
"Oh, I'm"
goes, "Oh, yeah, everybody has that. You don't
yeah,
have that when you touch other people?"
I get that all the time, bedhead. Exactly.
Yeah.
I just rolled around on the carpet. Um, but it wouldn't be as hard to kill him, when
Yeah.
she like, I mean, if she fi
Emotionally anyway, that's
yeah,
true.
she'd hopefully be over it,
Yeah.
and she'd
But
probably now be raging that she really wants to kill the Darkling because r it would all be revenge.
yeah, at
Be
that point.
Yep.
And I wonder if he'd even be able to, like how Toya and Tamar brought him back. If he didn't sacrifice himself, if he'd even be able to be brought back afterwards.
So, that's interesting. Well,
You
because the
know?
way
Like it's the sacrifice that made it possible.
but what I think what makes it possible is also, would the Darkling still turn Nikolai into one of his shadow things for a while? Because that's how the
That would
Darkling
change
stay.
the plot of the entire other series if he didn't, for one. Yeah.
So they'd have to, like, during one battle, like, I mean, he'd have to do that to Nikolai, and he would want to. I think it'd be yeah. Um,
'Cause like what they were talking about, how it's like all about revenge for him.
yes.
Nikolai
Well,
turned against him.
yeah. I mean, his
So
entire
he took the
family.
one thing Nikolai had was his brain, his mind. So he took that from him. So I
Yeah,
think he still probably would have done that
it would have to be.
or
Um,
something similar.
yeah. Although what I'm now thinking about is like the fact that like what would happen to like okay, so I guess the same thing would happen. Alina's power would be given to all the sun people. Um, they wouldn't really have to like say that she died. It wouldn't be important. Because I mean, it wouldn't have to like
Yeah.
cover it up. She obviously might be going and starting an orphanage by herself.
No, Mal.
Yeah, no Mal.
Alone.
and
No.
she just I don't think we'd hear from her again. Yeah, I mean, there'd be no point.
Unfortunately,
She's not the
yeah,
main point, but what would be I
yeah,
would die for this. I would love to start a King of Scars that I mean, we've just got Zoya and, I mean, it pretty much is that, but I mean,
yeah.
Zoya turns into the new, like she'd
Main
be the main
character, yeah,
character. And
of
Nickel and
Shadow and
them
Bone. That would have been something.
and they could start their romance earlier
Yeah.
probably.
Oh,
Maybe, like
yes.
maybe a lot could, like, change. I think that'd be awesome, and hey,
Yeah.
I mean, we've read all of it, so, I mean, we know that, I mean, it would work perfectly, so
I
dig
think
in.
it would be a really exciting alternate dimension of the Grishaverse. I think it would be a fun story to read.
It would be.
I think
And
it would be really cool.
and all that happens just because Baghra doesn't say something. Isn't that
Or because she
crazy?
keeps her mouth shut. Yeah. Crazy. Wow.
I mean, if you really think about it, like a
Yeah.
lot changes. So,
Yeah.
but that's our theory. So, anyways, if you guys have theories, let us know. We'd love to hear them. We're having fun. If you have any ideas for like a what if you'd like us to do, if you're interested in whatever, just let us know. Um, obviously, GrishaCast, all of our information will be shows up after on the screen, but we're on every single social media platform. But let's make sure to thank Lacey, my guest,
Oh,
for helping
thank
me
you
out.
for having me. This was so exciting, so
Ugh,
fun. Oh
I
my
loved it.
gosh.
You're definitely coming back, and we're gonna come
Yay!
up
Oh my
with
gosh.
more of these, and we'll
Yeah.
do more games. And
Yeah.
oh, I have to ask you the last question. Who's like your favorite character? Like when you were reading the Grishaverse, like
I have a lot of it kind of depends on my
it
mood.
shifts, doesn't it?
It
Mine did.
really does. I love Zoya. I've got kind of an attitude. So I
Oh
love
yeah,
Zoya, but also I love Nikolai. I love just like his wry humor and his wit. It's so funny. But Inej and Kaz also,
yeah. I
I love,
know.
like the philosophy that they espouse and blah. Like I just think
It's
they're really deep characters. I
they
just
are.
depends
It's
on my mood.
awesome, and I hope there's more. I hope like they have to like end it more, and because I mean.
Yeah, but she kind of threatened us. She said, if I make another Six of Crows, something horrible will happen.
See, and I'm not one of those people that wanted another Six of Crows book. Like, I didn't because I was happy with the way it ended. I wanted more. I wanted some of the characters to
Tease it
be in
out.
other stories, but I didn't
Mhm.
need another story of what they like. I just didn't.
I agree.
Other
I think
people
it was
did.
a concise, tight story.
Well, because it's good, like when
Yeah.
that's where people screw up is when like they
Yeah.
don't know how to stop. Like
Mhm.
when a story is so good, it's like okay, that's where it ends. But I mean, I love the way that I mean, Zoya's my favorite. I love it. I love that she ends up being a dragon and ooh,
Amazing.
that would definitely
Amazing.
be a key that anyways, but yeah, we got to stick to the just this what if.
Yeah.
So,
Next time. Next
yeah,
time.
exactly. Exactly. Well, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and enjoyed this game and there'll be more and yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.